Welcome to The Libservative, the channel dedicated to rationality, freedom, and ideas. I was watching this Tony Hinchcliffe video of his speech at the Trump rally where he's cracking a bunch of edgy jokes. Naturally, the left-wing media pundits didn't find it very amusing, but what I found interesting was the crowd's reaction to the bad jokes, the ones that didn't land, versus how the media is trying to make everything sound. And I want to play the clips just so we get the full context, and then I'll break it down and get into what I'm talking about here. Because I'm actually really proud of the crowd, and cookies for the Republicans here.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay, all right, okay, we're getting there. Now, again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here, all right, very good.
Not exactly the best joke, and as you heard, it actually did not land with the crowd. Those were groans and those were boos. Those were not cheers or claps. The people didn't like that very much, and that's why I say I'm actually really proud of the crowd. Tony realizes it too. He's visibly uncomfortable there. He realizes that one didn't land. And even more interestingly, he just before this praised the crowd, saying that Republicans are the ones with the senses of humor. It was a bad joke. It happens to every comedian, but let's keep going.
Feels good in here. The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what you guys want. All right, heck yeah.
Yeah, they like you pooping on the Democrats. They're not a big fan of the racist jokes, though, so don't do any more of those.
It's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that, a lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding, that's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun, we carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys are, this is a groany little morning crowd, huh?
Yeah, that crowd really does not appreciate the racial stuff. And I can kind of understand it too. I mean, we are, 10 days away from the election? Not to mention, I had this thought that I'm pretty sure everybody in that arena who is a Republican probably knows that the stereotypical idea of a Republican to maybe an independent voter or somebody on the left might actually be that closet bigoted, closet racist individual. So them hearing somebody like this who's supposed to be representing them saying all kinds of crazy stuff like that, it's not cool with the crowd, especially those who are trying to distance their political affiliation from that stuff. Because you already know the blowback from the left-wing media is going to be crazy, and we're going to get to that shortly. I just want to get through the rest of these jokes here.
Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're having fun now. We're cooking.
And everybody's getting it too, as a good comedian should. Nobody's safe. It's not like he's singling out any one individual, which softens the blow in my eyes.
Let me remind you, Hillary, it was your husband who shot innocent people, or as he called them, interns. Yeah, Hillary, I bet you did not see that one coming. By the way, if I commit suicide in 3 weeks, I didn't. That's where you want it. Right there. Technically, he got shot in the head, depending on if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Right? If you're a Democrat, his ear was grazed. If you're a Republican, he survived the headshot. What he did was so cool that Biden got COVID. Oh yeah. Go back, look at the timeline of everything again. 3 days after that. That means that Biden, he didn't get that from hanging out with sick people. He was in a sterile room in the White House, watching blood running down Trump's face as he pumps his fist. Biden's like,
All right, well done, Tony Hinchcliffe. That wasn't all bad. There were some really good zingers there. And you know what? I'm not the only one who found that funny.
I mean, here he is at the Tom Brady roast a few months ago.
The great Jeff Ross, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff is so Jewish, he only watches football for the coin toss. Gronk, you look like the Nazi that kept burning himself on the ovens. Kevin is so small that when his ancestors picked cotton, they called it deadlifting.
Yes, of course. Terrible, boo, yes. I mean, bringing him to a rally and have him not do roast jokes, that'd be like bringing Beyonce to a rally and not have... Oh.
That Beyonce jab was fantastic. So Jon Stewart is finding it funny, but not everybody in left-wing media agrees.
The opening act, grabbing headlines for all the wrong reasons, a comedian who offered unfunny, racist, cringeworthy jokes.
Basically calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude.
Frankly, just too X-rated to play here.
Extremely vile so-called jokes.
Extremely vile so-called jokes. She name-checked my comedy album from the 90s.
If we go over to Twitter, the blowback seems even worse. Here is the one and only Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She really does have a pretty name. Can't get over this dude telling someone else to change tampons when he's the one shitting bricks in his Depends after realizing opening for a Trump rally and feeding red meat racism alongside a throng of other bigots to a frothing crowd does, unironically, make you one of them. And I wanted to highlight this response from AOC for one reason specifically, and it's what we talked about when we actually watched the clips. The crowd was not actually frothing. They were not happy with those racial jokes specifically, and if she actually watched the clip, she would realize that. So it's interesting that she's trying to paint the audience as loving it, or as if they were in support of it, when clearly the opposite was true. Say what you will about Tony and the set. To be fair, he's out of his element here. The guy performs late at night in front of a bunch of drunk people who are expecting raunchy and disgusting jokes. Maybe a political rally is just not the time or place to do that. And I think I can comfortably stand by that argument. The Trump campaign is definitely looking at this and trying to distance themselves from it, and I can't say I blame them. But again, the guy's a comedian. This is what he does for a living. If we're gonna fault comedians for making jokes now, then the world truly has gone to shit. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos.